Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In my today's video, I'm going to discuss with you about a new company, which is Aeroflex Industries Limited. We'll go through their recent results and their con call summary. Okay, and before we get into that, right, we'll understand their business model, what they actually do, right? So if you look at their business model, so they call themselves flexible. So they provide flexible flow solution products. So I'll just go through the products and just tell you in details what are the name of the products in which industries they are used. So if you look at their various product portfolio, so they have excess flexible hoses which are used in high pressure and extreme temperature applications. So they are mainly used in manufacturing oils in refineries. Then they have assemblies and fittings which they are used in railways, shipbuilding, and heavy industries. Then they have this metal bellows and miniature metal bellows which they are used in space and aviation, robotics, semiconductors, hydrogen, gas, clean energy, all these various industries. Then they have this something called as composite hoses again, which is used in oil and gas and steel industry. Then they have industrialized hoses which are used in firefighting, HVAC system, power plants, and mining operations. So they have various kinds of products. And what is actually changing in the business, right? So now they have recently got into this skid assembly for liquid cooling, which is used in this data centers which are getting manufacture, which are getting built in India and all over the world. So the thing is, right, the for these data centers, the cooling which is required is much higher, and the normal cooling does not work. So they require this, liquid cooling, and they provide one of the part which is called this skid assembly. So that is their main business. And if you look at their recent numbers, right, if you look at the YOY revenue for Q4 FY26, it increased by almost 38% to 126 crores, and PAT was up by almost 57% to 18 crores. And if you look at the whole year of FY26, it was uh, I would say decent only, around 17.47% to 442 crores, and PAT was up by almost 6% to 56 crores. And if you look at the EBITDA margin, especially on QOQ, it improved quite drastically from 20% to 23.86%, and YOY it increased from 21% to 22.5%. So if you look, especially at the Q4, right, the margins expanded quite well. And if you same thing is for PAT margin also, if you look at the PAT margin for Q4 especially, right, it increased by almost 16 point from 16.45% to 20.11 for the full year. It increased from 16.84% to 18.41%. And if you look at their revenue mix, export provided to around at 69% of their revenue, and domestic contributes to 31% of the revenue. And if you look at the segment wise revenue, if we, we take their core business, which is of hoses and all the other hoses, it contributes to around 43%. Assemblies and others provide to around 52% of the revenue, which are value added product. And the new product which they've gone into, liquid cooling skid assemblies, right? That contributed to only 5% of the revenue. And actually, if you are following this company, or if you have read their con call or their presentation, right, this is going to be the key game changer for them. So let's look at their growth and how this is going to be a game changer, right? So I'll go through their expansion plan, what they are trying to do in all their segment, and to see how they are planning to grow, and especially in the liquid cooling skid assembly. So if you look for the FY26, right, majority of the revenue growth came from the core business of hoses and assemblies. Their new acquisition, which is Hyd-Air, recorded 50% YOY growth, and their skid assembly, right? They were able to, in which started their production in Q4, they were able to source 571 skid assemblies, which is a liquid cooling system for, as I said, for AI and a data center, which is which is quite a game changer for them. And if you look at the capacity and expansion in all the different segments, right? For their basic SSN flexible hoses, they are increasing their capacity from 17.5 million meters to around 20 million meters by Q2 of FY27. For the assemblies and fitting, they are increasing the number of stations from 46 to 70 by Q2 of FY27, which will increase their overall capacity by almost 50%. And if you look at the robotic welding lines which they use, they want to increase there from 2 to 4, which is almost a 100% increase. And the main thing that now comes is the liquid cooling skid assembly. Over here, currently they have a capacity of around 6,000, 6,000 per annum at the end of FY26. They are going to add 4.5 thousand by July of 2026, and they're going to add another 4.5 by September of 26. So they are going to increase this capacity by almost more than 100%. And so they are going to directly provide this product for these, which are required in the data center. But one thing what the management said, right? They are not directly selling it to the center. They are selling it to one of the companies which assembles the whole cooling system and then sells it to the data center. So they are not directly involved with the data center. They're involved with this company from which they have a contract, and majority of the revenue growth will come from there only. Management said that they're able to grow their revenue for 35% for FY27 this year, and they're confident of this growth for the next coming years also. And their base business for FY27 will grow by almost 15 to 20%. So if you look at this business, right, overall business was doing decent, not bad, but one of the majority game changers is like getting into this liquid cooling system for data center. So that is going to be a game changer. And if you look the way they are so confident, right, they are literally, they have almost like from 2000 which they had last year to 6000, they increase almost three times. Now they are going to increase that, even that, by more than 100%. So they are quite confident. And what the management has said, right now all these things are only for that company alone. They are trying to explore whether they can sell it to into the export it also into the other markets, and if there is an opportunity they're going to increase this capacity even further. So overall, if we look, right, management is quite bullish, especially on this liquid cooling segment, and we all know, you know the investment which is going into the AI and data centers, right? And so this is definitely directly going to benefit them. But we all have to see how the execution happens, how they are able to execute it. And right now they have this one customer whom they're selling, whether they're able to expand their production and sell it to other customers also, which will definitely increase their revenue. Because if we look at the revenue potential from this kid assembly alone is around close to 300 crores. If we look at their overall revenue which they had for the last year, right, which was around 442, it is almost like 70 to 80%. So if from this section alone, they can literally double their revenue in the coming years. But obviously, that is all well, good and said. Now, what we have to do is track and follow the company every quarter and see what they are promising they're delivering or not. And in case if they're not, what is the reason? And then accordingly, if anyone is invested, they take the necessary decision, because that is very important. One thing is to invest in the company, when the management said that they're doing something. Second thing is to track this company and to ensure, to see that they're actually executing it, because there are a lot of companies, in Indian stock market, where they commit something, but they do not do it at all. And that's how to say, investors lose money also. So following up and seeing how they're executing is also very important. And if you guys like this analysis, please do hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless.